Hello everybody, in this opportunity I come to you to talk about the silicone weight belt from Alchemy. Specifically this 5mm Marseillaise belt, diving belt, that I love for many years. I've been using it for classes, adventures, traveling around the world, and it's a real piece of equipment, a high-end piece of equipment.
First things first, is made of silicone. This is a big plus in terms of what to make your weight belt out of. It's the premium option for sure. I've seen other belts that are made of silicone or rubber. They do not have as much stretch or elasticity to them, and they're not nearly as durable.
The material, this silicone is super high-end and strong silicone that for me lasts for years in all kind of environments and working with big piece of lead, small ones, sometimes borrowing to students as well, and this lasts years with me. A stainless steel buckle with pieces of stainless steel to secure the buckle. Okay, it makes a super high quality piece of equipment for your dives.
The reason why you want silicone and why you want your belt to have a lot of stretch to it is because as you dive down, as you dive deeper, because of the depth and the compression, your body is going to compress as well. And if your belt does not have enough stretch to it, it's going to loosen up and it's going to be loose on your body. And then you're going to find your belt sliding further and further towards your belly and towards your chest. And you don't want that. You want your belt to stay exactly where you put it. So that's a huge plus. It's definitely the premium option, and it's no surprise that Alchemy chose to use silicone for their product.
Other important characteristic of the belt is the thickness of the material. It's 5mm silicone. It makes that the pieces of lead doesn't glide easily, okay? And it fits with most of the lead you can find in diving shops or online, okay? In average it fits to most of them, and it doesn't glide when you are diving or when you are putting out the belt from your hips and you are putting in the boat, for example. It happens sometimes that if you are using a thin weight belt, the lead just glide and you lost it. It can happen. Okay, then the thickness, I think, is the perfect combination.
Another thing that I noticed, obviously it's got the Marseille style buckle, and it's got the quick release. Easiest way to tell whether your belt has a quick release function is that the pin is sticking up. So if you lay it flat and you let go, the pin will come up. I'll try to demonstrate like super up close in front of the camera. So pretend you're wearing this belt right now and it's tight. The minute that you pull this part back, the pin should pop out. The pin should pop up. That way, all you have to do is pull this out and the pin is not stopping from the strap from coming out.
One of the characteristics I love from this material is that this silicone makes that the belt stick in the place where you put it. If you tie it correctly in your hips, near your glutes, it doesn't move, it doesn't glide. Its situation can happen very often with other kind of weight belt. Okay, with this material, it sticks very stable, and you don't have this loose weight belt dancing around your belly when you do your dives. This for me is fundamental, for me and for my students as well.
I had this belt for the last 3 or 4 months. I think it's held up great, especially considering how much I use it. I use the hell out of this thing. It's held up great. If I'm doing a lot of dives at the surface with wildlife, I'm wearing 12 or 13 pounds of weight on me easily because I want to be neutral at maybe 1 or 2 meters. And I thought that this belt was really going to stretch out a lot more because of that, but it hasn't. It's held up well, and it's still just as stretchy and still just as elastic as it was in the beginning. So super impressed with that.
When I use my personal weight belt for 1 or 2 years, I buy a new one and then I give the old one to my student, and it's still working in perfect conditions.
And then the other thing that I really like is when I'm not doing like wildlife stuff at the surface, but I'm doing deeper stuff, and I only need to wear 3 or 4 or 5 pounds of weight at the most. If I'm line diving, I'm using 1s or 2s, smaller weights. And I was wondering, I was concerned, like if when I was ordering the 5 mil, I didn't know if the 5 was going to be thin enough to fit through the 2s and the 1s. But to my surprise, they fit just fine. And so as you can see, there is still plenty of room. They slide right through, no problem. That was a 2-pounder. Here's a 1. And so the beauty of that is pretty much, even though I do a lot of surface stuff with wildlife like sharks and stuff like that, when I do line diving, I'm able to use the same belt for both line diving and wildlife, which is definitely a plus.
Okay, I hope this review is useful for you and make your dives more pleasant and more safe, as well you invest in a good quality equipment for your adventures around the ocean. Bye bye.